Deadlock is an incredible game and it's not even finished yet, but the game has a lot of both boring and flawed abilities scattered amongst the cast. So I thought, why not propose some reworks to what I consider to be the most boring and flawed abilities in the game currently. Before we start, leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe. Only do all that if you actually like the video, or don't, it's your life. Let's go over my criteria for what I consider to be a boring or flawed ability. The abilities I consider to be boring are normally passives that you don't apply actively or in a fun way. For example, the reason I won't rework Haze, Infernus, or Mina's passive abilities is because they are active passives. You have to actively hit your shots and do damage to gain any benefit from them, versus Abrams, who has a passive that just plays itself, requiring nothing from the player. An ability is also boring if it's not that unique visually, mechanically, or it's a derivative of an already existing ability. Then there are what I consider to be flawed abilities, which are abilities that typically have a lot going for it conceptually, they just need some tweaks to make it much better. An ability can also be considered flawed if they either allow characters to do things they shouldn't, or don't fit the character's archetype. Now that I've talked your ears off about what I consider to be a boring or flawed ability, whose abilities will I even be reworking? Well, several, but I'll list them all in the order I'll discuss them. I'll be starting off strong with Abrams, then Celeste, Graves, Holliday, Ivy, Shiv, Warden, and last but certainly not least, Wraith. I'll be reworking an ability from each and propose my new and improved ability to replace their old ones. One last thing before I start, I'm perfectly aware that there would need to be a lot of balance adjustments made for these new abilities to be integrated. Just thought I should say that because I know Holliday, as of recording this video, is really strong right now and would be even more OP with the ability tweaks I'm giving her, so again, I am aware. Since I didn't go out of my way to suggest balance adjustments, just imagine for the sake of the video that I did, or better yet, just ignore it. Abrams' Infernal Resilience was actually the hardest of these to rework. In terms of his canon abilities, he's pretty basic. He's just an insanely durable and strong demon, which can be hard to translate into a kit because of his simple power set. So when I was thinking of an ability to replace his Infernal Resilience, I was stuck, because I didn't want to give him another ability based on the tome, but instead wanted to give him an ability natural to him. While I think Infernal Resilience is a way to display his canonical powers, it's just so boring. It allows him to fulfill his role for sure, but I think Abrams deserves a more interesting ability that accomplishes the same thing but in a more active sense. Naturally, his vitality stats would need to be changed to accommodate for the loss of his old passive. His new ability, previously named Infernal Resilience, is now renamed to Infernal Berserker. Channel your Infernal Fury and go into Berserker mode for 4 seconds. In Berserker mode, you become larger and more resistant the more damage you take. All damage taken imbues your next melee hit with extra power. I think this is a great overhaul, not because I made it, but because it's more active. It lets Abrams protect his team by being the biggest target on everyone's screens, and you have to be smart about its usage. It plays into the fantasy that Abrams' character brings to the game. How do you guys feel about it? Is this rework a step in the right direction? Let me know. Celeste to me is one of the coolest heroes that's been added to Deadlock, and was my most voted for character during the Old Gods New Blood update. She's a circus aesthetic, which I have a soft spot for. She's a performer, an athlete, she's like a were-human unicorn creature. All this to say, I thought she was going to be the second coming of Lash given her implied agility. But she has one ability that sullies the fantasy for me, and it's her dazzling trick. I mean, holy shit is this ability lame. Especially for a circus performing unicorn. She shouldn't have this basic ass self-shield with extra steps. I think the rest of her kit makes sense, but this one just sucks. Not only is it not creative, but it's not fun to play against. At least with Paige and Warden, you're not punished for shooting at them when they shield themselves. So I came up with an ability that I think fits Celeste much better. Her dazzling trick is now renamed Dazzling Spin. Perform a dazzling spin that deals spirit damage to enemies in close quarters, ending in an explosion that silences nearby enemies. She can use her movement to jump and dash around while spinning. This is basically Moe's spin out of Burrow on steroids, and I think that's just way more fun. I'll also clarify that Dazzling Spin will still synergize with her ultimate, but instead of bouncing off the shield, it will bounce off her spin, so she's basically kicking her ultimate at other people, which again is more fun. Let me know how you guys feel about this new ability. Do you prefer this over her old one for the same reasons? Okay, some of you are gonna think this doesn't count, but hear me out. Instead of reworking one of her specific abilities, I've opted to instead rework her primary fire called the Teacher. Why, you ask? Because I think her primary fire being auto-aim is the reason she can't properly be balanced for all levels in play. If Valve really wants her to have auto-aim, they can't really make her weapon any stronger, as that would be incredibly unfun and broken. So her main form of damage is super weak and inconsistent for balancing. Her abilities I think are very strong and provide a lot to a team, but because she relies on them so much, you can kind of just run at her and kill her when they're down. But if you were to rework her primary and make aim required, then Valve can properly buff her gun damage without any backlash. Her current primary is also very contradicting to her kit, as it requires her to be very close to both use and get any value out of. But the issue with that is she's super squishy and has no movement or a lot of stamina. It also indirectly makes her passive, Essence Theft, useless. Her kit doesn't allow her to make the most out of her main form of damage, which is problematic. So let's rework it. The change is nothing major, but instead of auto-aim, she instead fires a mid to far range beam that ramps up in damage and scales with her passive ability Essence Theft. It'd be visually similar to Zarya's primary from Overwatch or Emma Frost's from Marvel Rivals. A consistent, powerful beam primary that requires aim I think makes her much better than she currently is, and allows her to be useful even without her abilities. Holliday's Crackshot was the easiest ability to rework because it fits her kit and her identity as a sheriff, but it just needs some tweaks to make it actually worth building into. I didn't even change the name for it either because there was no need to. So this new Crackshot still deals bonus weapon damage, applies a straight up movement slow instead of a fading movement slow, and fully reloads her gun on successful headshots. This simple change, along with her new AP upgrades, makes this version of Crackshot really shine. Like I said earlier, I'm aware Holliday is currently strong, so obviously some changes would need to be made for the new and improved Crackshot. Again, a really simple change, but one that I think greatly improves her kit. The problem I have with Ivy's kit is that it feels so disjointed. Like she just took random abilities from different characters, hence her kit's lack of cohesion and synergy. Which sucks, because I really like Ivy as a character. She's a fun, quirky Hispanic gargoyle, and I wish her kit just felt better. Valve has been trying to make her kit feel more cohesive without making any major changes, but I personally think at least one of her abilities needs to be changed to make her feel better. The ability I'm reworking is Kudzu Connection, now renamed Kudzu Dash. Adorn yourself in vines before dashing into enemies dealing damage, or dashing into allies for healing. Press again to recast. Using Kudzu Dash and Entangling Thorns will increase Entangling Thorns' radius and damage. Can also be used while flying around during airdrop. This proposed rework just makes her more dynamic and her kit feel more cohesive, at least to me, which Ivy deserves. She's a fun, lovable character, but her kit is somewhat lacking. Shiv, one of Deadlock's most infamous characters. Valve just can't seem to properly balance him to save their lives. I think the core issue that plagues Shiv's character is his lack of identity, because currently he is what I like to call a best of all worlds character. He can deal a shit ton of damage easily, casually tank any kind of damage, and he has some of the best movement in the game via his alt fire. He's just too good at doing everything, which is obviously unbalanced because he shouldn't be. Characters in hero shooters and MOBAs should have explicit weaknesses and shouldn't be able to accomplish everything. For Shiv to become an actually balanced character, one of these three things need to go. I used to think his alt fire should have been removed because I've played against Shivs that are good with his alt fire movement, and is genuinely annoying as fuck to play against. But after playing Shiv myself, I realized that the alt fire movement was not as easy as it looks. It was a skill that needed time to master, so removing that from the character just shits on the players that put time into learning it. So what will I be changing then? I'll be reworking Bloodletting, because why the fuck is Shiv tanky? Not only do I think it doesn't fit his character archetype, but it's just a boring ability that I swear no one cares about. It just allows Shiv to get away with way too much. So since I'll effectively be removing the ability that made him tanky, the existence of his alt-fire movement is now justified, because he'd be a squishier hero that's susceptible to burst damage. Bloodletting is now renamed Bloodlust. Upon activation, sacrifice 15% of your health and gain 10% Spirit Lifesteal on bleed, 15% fire rate, and doubled bleed damage for 5 seconds. At full rage, gain the 15% of health you lost back when killing an enemy while bloodlusted. This to me just fits the character so much more. He's supposed to be this too cool for school monster that hunts monsters, so making him an aggressive, high-risk burst assassin I think fits that specific fantasy so much better, instead of this weird hybrid of every character archetype that he currently is. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I used to be a Warden hater, I won't lie. Like many, I just viewed him as the John Deadlock character of this game, given his personality and his design. Yes, I know his design is unfinished, so judging him based on his placeholder was unfair of me. But I've been recently picking him up, and he's actually quite fun, and I think his kit for the most part fulfills the power fantasy he's meant to bring. Except for one ability, and I think you all know what that ability is. It's willpower. There isn't much to say about this ability besides the fact that it's just superbly boring and lacking, so I only thought it made sense to give him a proper, more dynamic ability. The main reason I even decided to make this video is because willpower is such a goddamn boring ability. So had I not recently started playing Warden, there is a chance that I wouldn't have made this video, which is pretty funny. Now onto his reworked ability. Willpower is now renamed Vigilant Escape. Instantly throw down a flask beneath your feet, creating a smokescreen that deals spirit damage over time to any enemy in it. Grants barrier and bonus movement speed. A very simple change inspired by the vigilante trope of using smoke bombs to disappear into the night, which I definitely think Warden is corny enough to do. While it accomplishes a lot of the same things, this rework provides a lot more dynamism to his kit. He has another source of damage, an escape tool, and can use this to provide support to allies versus what it was before. And finally, last but not least, my baby girl Wraith. She was actually the first character I mained when I played this game in 2024, back when it had 4 lanes. Because of that, I have a soft spot for her, and when she got her card trick rework, I was very happy as it was such a great step in the right direction for the character. Giving her an RNG mechanic in her kit was just so smart. But, and there is a big but, there is one ability of hers that still feels like it needs some work, and that ability, in my opinion, is Full Auto. I don't think the ability is awful, I just think it's somewhat redundant and bland. So now Full Auto is renamed Project Self. Project an image/clone of yourself that mirrors your movements, standing side by side with you, increasing your damage by 35%, and your fire rate for 5 seconds. When the duration ends, the projection transforms into a card that you can launch towards the enemy or point under your crosshair. To me, it makes Wraith's kit feel more complete. So, there you have it. Those are all my proposed changes. I think I did a solid job of reworking these abilities to better fit the characters, but I'd love to hear any thoughts on these ideas, especially if you main any of the characters listed in this video. Do you think my reworked abilities improve the characters, or do you think they still need work? Let me know, and don't forget to like the vid if you enjoyed, and subscribe to show some love. It's free, but it's your life, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.